Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for another Sistas review, y'all. All right, as my boy Alex would say, it's another terrible Tyler Perry production out here. Another terrible Tyler Perry TV show review. All right, my boy Alexander Rogers on YouTube says that when he reviews this show, I get a cackle out of it. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll assess from there on. Lord have mercy, this show is so damn crazy. Okay, Sabrina is on the phone with a very unhelpful 911 operator. Like, keep asking her to do things that apparently she doesn't know how to do. I guess, they wanted us to feel like she was so panicked that she wouldn't be able to check to see if somebody was breathing. Like, I don't know, check their chest, check their nose, like check their mouth. Like, there are so many different ways, but I guess she was too panicked to remember that human beings breathe through their nose and stuff. So, she needed help to figure out how to figure out if Maurice was alive or not, but to no avail. However, 911 was on the way. You can hear the sirens in the background. Zak pulled up on Karen just as Erin was leaving her house that morning. So when he showed up, he all mad, like he didn't have his drawers in his booty all night while he was waiting on Erin to leave, because he said he saw last night that Erin was there, but he decided to wait until the morning to show up. I said, so what, like, what we supposed to care? We supposed to be like thankful that you didn't interrupt him crying on my lap last night? You don't know what happened in this house. I can't stand the way he automatically assumes the worst and dresses Karen down as if she is, gum on the bottom of his shoe because she's doing something that he's already done to her numerous times. Like, she's a hoe and everything else that he can call her because he thinks that she was having an affair with a married man, which she was not, but whatever. No matter how many times she says it to him, he's going to keep bringing it up as if her and her friends are just out here looking for married men to latch on to for dear life, when that is not exactly the case at all. Andi is a special case all on her own. Karen went on a date with a man that was already going through a divorce with his wife. So yeah, not the same thing. When he called her friends bitches and then said, oh, I'm sorry, you a hoe, and then he took the keys off his keychain and threw the keys in her face and hit her in the face with the keys and then acted as if it was a mistake. How do you accidentally throw keys in the direction of someone's face and hit them in the face with the keys? How is that an accident, Zak? That's what happens when you throw keys in someone's face. They get hit in the face with the keys. I don't understand. Like, what did he think was supposed to happen in that scene? I'm not sure. Okay, but it annoyed me the way they acted as if it was like really a mistake. It was not a mistake. You threw the keys and hit her in the face. Like, what? She has a ridiculous response. She gets a knife, pulls a knife on him and tells him to get out of her apartment. I mean, there was so much dialogue for him to get out her apartment, y'all. Like, it had to be said so many times in order for him to actually leave. Like, the knife had to be pulled and jugged in the air at least 4 times before he actually decided to leave the apartment and act as if she was crazy. It's like, well, how many times do I have to tell you to leave before I have to threaten you physically in order to leave? Because I've said it, and I said it and you didn't leave. So I had to pull a knife. And then I had to jug the knife in the air a couple of times because you didn't get it when I pulled it out the original time. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of feel like Zak is so annoying and so like self-righteous, and he's a dog, but then as soon as his ex-girlfriend, who is not with him anymore, moves on faster than he would like, all of a sudden he thinks he can call her a hoe. That is amazing to me. I would have hit him in the throat. She also got on the phone with the cops, and then she had to like convince them that everything was okay. Child. Is that okay to do? Because I feel like as soon as you call them, even if you be like, never mind, they'll still come and then arrest you because you called them. Like that's not funny. It's kind of the laugh to keep from crying situation. Andi goes to the police station to get Gary, and Jasmine and the PI in her terrible wig are sitting there, and they're there because Jasmine filed a report against Gary saying that he abused her. Apparently, she had a whole bunch of marks on her arms and legs. I said, girl, if you don't get out of here with this Lynn Whitfield thin line between the love and hate, okay, stocking with an orange in it, that shit, girl, we know what you did. We know you did this to yourself, okay? You slamming your arm in the door and all of that, like you're doing that type of stuff, girl. Get out of here with this, Jasmine. Okay, Jasmine works on my nerves, y'all, because she wrong. She's so wrong, but then she like to be self-righteous. Like, Tyler Perry loves writing about people that are terribly wrong, but somehow feel that they are validated in their absolute and utter wrongness. It is exhausting. The PI gives Andi some names to look into after Jasmine fires her and walks away. I was like, how you gonna fire the PI when she got all this information on you? You know, she's sitting up there in Andi's face, and Andi's sitting up there, you better get out of my face. I'm like, y'all are both in a police station. So I would have just told her, I'll wait for you outside in front of your car. And we can talk about it there, since you all bout it while we're in the police station. So we can both barely break a grape in a food fight and then get arrested for it. Sure. Okay, get out of my face. Okay, I can't stand Jasmine. But the PI tells her not only to look into the names that she gave her. Apparently Morris goes around sexually assaulting various women all the time because there's a list, okay? And not only that, but to look into Morris's relationship with Jasmine, because obviously it is not on the up and up. Andi goes in to see Gary and he asks about bail. And she says, I'm going to look into it. I know a judge I can ask. And he's like, how do you know this judge? And she's like, from court cases, from work. And he's like, oh, okay, never mind. She's like, no, what? And he's like, no, never mind. And she's like, no, what? And he's like, never mind. And she's like, oh, no, what? And then he says that he heard from Jasmine and Morris that she flirts with the judges. And she's like, and you're saying that and reacting to me as if it's true. You're believing the two people that are currently lying on you. Is that what I have correct right now? Oh, I must be a hoe or something because I flirt with the judges. If I flirt with the judges. First of all, you flirt with judges because judges flirt with you and you don't want to get on any judge's bad side. Oh, all right, how you doing? All right, and you know you look nice too. All right, see you later. Look, if you want me to look down on a woman for that, y'all can check in later with me, okay? Because I'm a firm believer in using flirtation to get what you want. I ain't saying bust it open for nobody, but if a smile and you know, a little hand on the shoulder and a how you doing will get your court case thrown out, by all means. Like, I'm supposed to tell women not to use one of the few advantages we have in this world? Boy, bye. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not in that mind frame. I'm sorry. So I'm looking at Gary like, first of all, you stupid, because you should be trying to get out of jail by any means necessary. And if batting her eyelashes is going to get you out of jail, you need to be okay with that. But that's not even the point. The point is that you sit up here and assume that the woman you're with is not strong enough to get this done just by being professional, good at her job. And yeah, being cute don't hurt. Okay, but most people do things more so with an attractive person than they will with someone they're not attracted to. Like, that's just common sense that pretty people get an easier way sometimes. Look at Alexis Sky. She says she has a friend to go and see about. So she leaves him and tells him that she'll check in and she'll come and get him when she finds out about his bail. I said, child, I'd have left him in there. But anyway, Sabrina sits down next to Calvin in the lobby of the hospital. And he screams that he told her to leave him alone. And she just sits there crying, ignoring him like a crazy person. I'd have looked at him and been like, ain't nobody here worrying about you, Negro. Like, I would at least say something. But she, I guess, was too distraught to even worry about him. So he goes and sits in another seat. And then these detectives come in to ask her about what happened to Maurice. And y'all know she don't know nothing. So that conversation was mute. But either way, it did enough for Calvin's ear hustling ass to hear that she wasn't there for him, but because of Maurice. Danny comes in and Sabrina is blaming herself for what happened with Maurice because of Alonzo. And Danny says that it's not her fault. And she tells her to call his family and let them know what's going on. Calvin had went to find out what was going on by talking to one of the nurses or the doctors or something like that. And when he comes back and she's about to call Maurice's mom, Calvin is like, don't call her. She hates him. She, looks down on him and judges him because she's religious and he's gay. So don't call her because she'll probably just be happy that something happened to him. Sabrina can't believe that his mom would feel like that about him. And for some reason, this pisses Calvin off because he then turns to her and it's like, well, I can't believe believe. You can't believe it. You judge me. You judge people all the time. You and your friend Danny. And Danny is like, hold up, I don't even know you. Like, who the fuck you talking to? And he was like, yeah, but I know how y'all talking. I know how y'all talked about me. And I'm like, see, that's why nobody don't want to mess with you. You come in with all of this angst, all of this venom in your language towards these two women, while one is sitting up here crying about her friend. You supposed to be in here worrying about your daddy, but you in here dressing this woman down because she judged you. And see, that's another thing I don't like, that judge word. Oh, okay. So because I'm looking at characteristics and asking you about something based off of my knowledge of the world, that means that I'm judging you. To me, judging somebody is when I don't want to deal with you, or I think you a terrible person, or you a lack thereof person because you wear panties, or because you wanted to dildo up your butt. Like, she never said you were a less person. She never treated you like crap because of it. She had questions because in her experience, certain men do certain things and certain men don't do certain things, okay? So for her, yes, there was a question to your sexuality. And yes, you said you were straight, but you did so many things that would make somebody think you were lying about it, okay? And at the end of the day, if this is something you've gone through a lot, there should be a little bit more patience for somebody who is just trying to understand and get to know you and deal with all of your little differences that they may not be used to. It doesn't mean they don't want to deal with you. It just means it's something they're not used to and they have to get used to it. And they want to get used to it because she keeps reaching out to you and calling you and trying to be with you. So I just kind of feel like Calvin is an asshole, and that whole judge thing is bullshit, okay, at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, because she's still trying to deal with your disgusting ass, okay? I don't even like him, okay? She's sitting up here crying over Maurice, and he's making it about him and how he got judged because he can't stop wearing lace panties to a female house. Like, what? Boy, bye. Okay? And you need to read your room. Something you still haven't learned yet. Okay? Like, what make you think anybody would be okay with you just sticking their dildo in your butt? Like, first of all, I don't know you like that to share sex toys with you. At least not like that. You gonna take something I put in my vagina and put it in your butt? Like, what? No. That's how you get bacterial infections. Zak calls Danny and asks for a place to stay and tells her that he accidentally hit Karen in the head with the keys. And of course, after she calls him stupid for the 5th time, he says, can she check on Karen to make sure that she's okay? I'm like, oh, because you care now? Danny is still waiting on that cowboy to call her back. He left her house in the middle of the night and ain't called her back since. And now she's wondering if she opened up to the wrong person. I said, girl, that's why you got to take it an inch by inch. You can't be giving somebody all or everything just because they said, they don't want you to be mean to them just because they gave you a compliment. Like, take the compliment, have a good time, and still have your guard up because you don't know them like that. Ain't nobody told you to let your guard all the way down. Like, nobody said do that, and you still decided to do that. So shame on you. Andi calls Karen and tells her that she's on her way to Morris' office to burn his shit to the ground because she got some information on him. So she storms into his office and tells him to sit his bitch ass down. And like, girl, if you don't calm down, that's what it's Tyler Perry writing is ridiculous. She says when she goes public, he's gonna be done. And that's when he sits his ass down because he realizes that she actually knows something about him. She tells him, remember, I'm the ass and tits that the judges like. He says that he will talk to Jasmine about dropping the charges against Gary. She tells him to drop the charges on Gary himself because he also has charges against Gary. Then Andi asked if Morris was going to rape her, and he was like, no. And she was like, so what was that all about? And she was like, because that wasn't about me. And I'm just like, why are you even trying to have this conversation with him where he can explain to you why he was about to sexually assault you? And then he's talking about, come on, I was drinking, you were drinking. It's like, no, you were doing cocaine and I had a little bit of wine. Let's not do that, okay? Then he calls Jasmine and she answers the phone, hey, baby. And Andi is like, checkmate, meaning, oh, okay, well, I got even more dirt on your ass. Danny and Karen talk about Zak at the hospital, and she takes up for Zak, saying that, obviously it was an accident that Karen got hit in the face with the keys. I said, shut up, Danny. Danny says that, Zak needs somewhere to go. And And Karen was like, well, let him stay with you. It's like, child, he already staying with her. I don't even know why we having this conversation. This is stupid. Andi gets there, and then Sabrina runs into Calvin's other dad. He says, give Calvin some time. I'm like, bump Calvin. Why are we even still worrying about his old hostile ass? Then he comes over and asks if Sabrina is bothering his dad and says they can get the nurse to remove her. I said, boy, if you don't go on away from me with all of this extra for what? His dad tells him he needs to stop being mean to her, and she seems to care for him, and he should give her the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I'm sorry we didn't teach you to give people the benefit of the doubt, but we should have, okay? Then his sick dad, who can barely talk, starts to moan and groan, and I guess that must have meant for him to go and follow Sabrina and try to make it right with her. I told y'all I'm over Calvin and Sabrina. I don't know how many times I can tell y'all that. Sabrina rejoins the girls, and Karen and Andi go and see if they can find out what's going on with Maurice, because we still don't know what's going on with Maurice. Calvin comes over and Danny asks, what do you want? Okay, like, why are you coming over here again so you can make my friend feel bad again? Okay, and then he wants to sit down and apologize for being an asshole. He just doesn't trust her with his heart. I'm like, just because you don't trust somebody with your heart doesn't mean you have to be a complete and utter jerk every time you interact with them. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, it's all this judgment. You judging her just like she judging you. We all judge people when we first starting to get to know them because we know how people react normally. Okay, and whatever we've been through and whatever, glasses we look through based on our experiences, whenever we see certain things, we sometimes tie those things to people we've known in our lives. Okay, so this whole thing about judgment is just so obnoxious to me because I really feel like, no, you just doing stuff that normally gay men do. And everybody can sit up there and act like there aren't certain characteristics that that fit for certain people, but that's bullshit, okay? Just like there are certain characteristics for New Orleans girls, black men, certain characteristics for most groups. So for everybody to ignore those characteristics, I just think that's foolishness. Not saying it always applies, but sometimes and usually it does. Doesn't mean you hate people. I don't know why we go that deep with it. But anyway, she says that she will give him as much time as he needs because she asked him what he needs to fix this situation. And he's like, oh, you're so cute. And I'm like, whatever. And he just says he needs time. And she's like, that's what your dad said. Well, I'll give you all the time you need as long as you know I'm waiting for you. And I'm just kind of like, child, whatever. And then his other dad come in and say that the sick daddy died. And then it got sad. He's gone. I was like, oh, I'm glad this isn't real. Because Lord knows that abrupt moment didn't hit my heart the way y'all thought it would. I was just kind of like, oh, but we ain't know him. Like, I'm sad, but I don't like Calvin. And I really feel more sad for Calvin's other daddy than I do for Calvin because I don't really like him. I'm mad that we still circling the airport with this Sabrina and Calvin situation. I want it to be over. I want Zak and Karen to be over too. I'm tired of that. Her and Aaron are cute. He be leaving her flowers and stuff. He cute. Gary is crazy as hell, and I'm tired of us acting like he's not. Okay? But yeah, y'all, that was Sistas. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you have not already, wash your hands and stay inside. And y'all, follow me on my social media. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram because sometimes YouTube is not sending y'all notifications after I put out a video. And I need for y'all to know when I put out a video. So please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whichever. And I post when I put out videos on all of those platforms just in case YouTube starts tripping like it did yesterday. Seeing as though they don't have this many people working at YouTube, even though it's something you can obviously do from your computer at home. But whatever. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.